Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's video. If you are watching this live, good morning. I hope you have your morning coffee and are ready to get through quite an interesting episode as ever, because, well, we have seen some insane price action from, well, majority Bitcoin, but also from Ethereum and some altcoins. So, of course, I will jump into why that's happened, what my opinion on the rest of this month will look like, and I guess what my opinion on the ETF stuff. Has it changed, or is it the exact same as I have been saying the past 6 months? So yeah, like I said, get ready for another great episode of Coffee and Crypto, and let's dive into what's happening in the crypto space, because, well, it's all happening by the looks of it. First of all, before we jump into that, please make sure, if you haven't already, I say this far too often, but if you haven't, for whatever reason, joined our Discord community, first of all, get your head checked. You've been given multiple chances. Now, I know some people leave Discord and they leave the crypto space because it's boring, or they can't, focus enough time on it, or whatever it may be. Well, like I said, give yourself a shake. You need help, and we can help you. We can also offer you copy trading, which means that you can trade without having to do anything. So you literally have zero excuses left, unfortunately. So yeah, get back into Discord, or if you haven't already, please join the Discord, and of course I will, and the team will be able to help you in some way. So yeah, if you're interested, which I know you are, there's a link in today's description to join. Now that that's out of the way, let's look at the prices, because that is what's quite exciting. Let me just refresh coin market cap and have a look at today's prices. So Bitcoin is currently at $34,178, up currently 20% on the week. Ethereum holding strong at $1,780. We then have BNB at $225, XRP at 54, almost 55 cents. We then have Solana at $31, Cardano at 28 cents, Dogecoin at 0.06, and then finally the scam coin itself, Tron, at 0.09. So yeah, over the week, as you can see here on the kind of third tab, everything's up in the green. Quite healthy amounts. Currently, Bitcoin's up nearly 20%, Ethereum's up almost 13%, XRP's up 12%, Solana's up 31%. It's been a good few days, a good 48, 72 hours, whatever it may have been, in the crypto space since Monday. And yeah, we can't complain if you are in crypto. One thing I would complain about, I suppose, is the fear and greed is at 71, which, yeah, that's a little bit high. It's not what we like to see as investors. Of course, it's natural because, well, when everyone is greedy, that tends to be why you should be fearful. But look, I won't take away from the fact that everyone's excited. There's a bit more, a bit of a kind of better sentiment across the board. And yeah, who am I to take that away from you? So, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Fear and greed is quite high. I think it's the highest we've seen. I'm going to cover this in an article in just a sec, but I'm sure it's the highest we've seen since like the all-time high, I'm sure I read on the article. So yeah, let me dive into that article, give you a bit more info on the sentiment before we kind of crack on with the rest of the news. So the crypto market sentiment is at the highest point since Bitcoin's all-time high price. That's not a good thing, really. Of course, it's a good thing because we're all feeling great. We're all back. Well, I've been feeling great the whole time, but for you guys who are a bit doom and gloom, a bit unhappy with crypto, you guys are starting to feel a bit better. And look, it's natural for you to feel this greed almost. Yeah, I'm explaining why in this article, as I've just said. So Bitcoin's market sentiment has returned to levels not seen since the price reached $69,000 back in November 2021. First point, how insane is it that 2 years ago, well, just about 23 months ago, is when the all-time high of Bitcoin was printed. That's nuts. It seems like it was just yesterday. sort of, even though it's been a long 2 years. It's it's been a really quick 2 years. I don't know if you feel the same, but I definitely feel like the past 2 years have flew past, which is a good thing because it's nearly time for another Bitcoin all-time high. But yeah, anyway, the index is now at 72 out of a possible score of 100, placing it within the greed ranking, a 6-point increase from October 24th and a 16-point bounce from its 50-point neutral rank in October 18th. So yeah, it has been bumping up quite a lot the past month. Now, the strengthening market sentiment, it follows a wave of excitement that the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF could be inching towards approval by the SEC. Now, on October 24th, Bitcoin staged its largest single-day rally in over a year, recording a 14% daily gain, which just got above $35,000, which you all know by now because you would have seen our Instagram page or you would have been part of Discord and seen that news. Now, the actual index itself, so the Fear and Greed Index, gathers and weighs data from 6 market key performance indicators. So volatility, market momentum and volume, social media, surveys, Bitcoin's dominance and trends. So all of that mixed together is where you get your market sentiment Fear and Greed Index. It's not just some random number that's put out there. It is data collated from, well, what I've just listed and then all thrown together on a graph. Now, I've said this many times again, you don't need a graph to tell you how the market's feeling or how you're feeling, but again, everyone uses this same Fear and Greed Index, so it's good to see and it's kind of good to be aware of so that everyone's on the same board regardless of how you are feeling. But yeah, like I said, this is the highest point that we have seen the Fear and Greed Index since the all-time high of November 2021. Now, why I say that's not so much a good thing. It is a good thing because, like I've said, you're feeling better, but it's not so much a good thing because what our kind of saying is, or what most people in crypto are in investing is the greed is it's not a good thing, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. It's usually buy when others are fearful, and, well, I guess sell when others are greedy. There is an exact saying, I can't remember the famous saying, but that's the whole point of it. You don't really like buying when people are greedy because that tends to mean that it's a bit overbought and there's probably going to be a correction on the way, which I strongly believe there will be, and I will get into that in a little bit more detail throughout today's video, just to kind of give you a bit of mindset and a bit of a warning of just don't get ahead of yourself. Almost. It's great to be pumped up, it's great to be excited, it's great to even see some profits for the first time potentially since 2021, depending on what you've been doing the past 2 years. Now, I'll be honest, if you're just in profit now after buying in 2021, then you have a serious issue with how you manage your portfolio because you've had, like I said, 2 years to really sort that portfolio out. I mean, you've had 12 months to sort that portfolio out because the prices this time last year, I mean October, November of last year, Bitcoin was at like $16,000. So we're up over 100% since then. So you've already had plenty of time to sort your portfolio out. And that's not just Bitcoin, by the way, that's like most altcoins because most altcoins have moved slightly as well. So yeah, not to kind of come after you and not to directly come after you. I won't name names because I don't really have names to name, but I know there's definitely people out there who are celebrating profit for the first time since 2021. And I'm here to tell you from experience that you are not managing your crypto portfolio the way you should, the smartest way that you should. And I'm also here to tell you that I can help you. So that's why I'm telling you. I'm not trying to just tell you off and tell you to go fix that. Well, I am. I'm telling you to fix your portfolio, but I'm also providing a fix for you, and that fix being speak to me, who has been there, done that, had a terrible portfolio at one point, bought at the wrong time, sold at the wrong time, didn't buy enough at the right time. I've done it all. I've been here since 2017. I've been up and I've been down, both emotionally and financially. So yeah, I've got a bit of a track record. I know what I'm talking about, and hopefully I can help you Well, I most definitely can, because I've spoke to hundreds of people through the consultancy and helped hundreds, if not thousands of people with that. So yeah, not to name names, not to point the finger, but I know people are watching this who are, well, they have fell into that camp of, I've just seen profit for the first time in 2 years, and I'm here to tell you that, I mean, look, I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. I say that all the time. You need to hear this. You don't want to hear it, but you have not managed your portfolio correctly over the past 12 to 24 months, and I really think before the next bull run, you should sort that out. Understand? I don't know why there was such a long kind of pause there, but yeah, anyway, I said I was going to move into that and cover it throughout the video, but look, I've just said it. Hopefully it helps. It most definitely will help. And yeah, like I said, if you are wanting to get your portfolio sorted out, which you need to, give me a shout and I can help you as best as possible. Now, moving on to, well, why the price of Bitcoin and crypto have been moving the past few days, and it's to do with the ETF. Now, if you have been following Coffee and Crypto for the past 3, 4, 5 months, you'll know that I have been talking about the ETF stuff a lot, and it was a massive focal point about 2 months ago. Pretty much every video I mentioned ETFs. Now, yeah, you can't get away from the fact that ETFs will be fueling the next Bitcoin rally, in my opinion. And yeah, here's a little bit of news on what is actually happening with, is it being listed, is it not being listed, what's going on, prices up, prices down, Twitter's going crazy, what's actually happening. So BlackRock is one of, I think, 7 or 8 ETF applications, and it seems to be the one that's going to be approved first. So BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin ETF mysteriously disappears from, then reappears on the DTCC website. So yeah, this has been throwing people off all over the place, so hopefully this will help. But anyway, the ticker for the spot Bitcoin ETF IBTC has reappeared on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporations, also known as the DTCC website, after disappearing for a few hours. Now, the price of Bitcoin surged to new yearly highs following the October 23rd surprise appearance of the IBTC on the website. Now, with markets, of course, frenzied over the sign of a potential soon-to-come ETF approval, when the ticker quietly disappeared randomly from the site a few hours later, Bitcoin's price then slumped 3%, indicating that much of the trading activity seems to be hinged on watching the ETF related developments. So yeah, I've got something I'm going to show you. It's a tweet. I can't remember which tweet it is. I've got 4 open and I didn't actually put them in order, but I've got a tweet to show you. It's regarding the whole ETF, this IBTC and the price and stuff. So I'll read the rest of this article, and then I want to show you quite a powerful tweet that I am fully behind. So senior Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balkanus, that's her surname, pointed out that the drama around the IBTC listing seemed to be responsible for briefly crashing the DTCC website. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that on X, but apparently their website crashed because everyone was clicking on the website to see it for themselves. And yeah, it's a bit crazy that this has led prices to go, well, so crazy. But anyway, it is what it is. So the DTCC doesn't typically witness this level of attention, they explained, which speaks to the uniqueness and intensity of this entire saga. Now, upon its IBTC's relisting, one X user highlighted that the previous listing showed a Y under the create/redeem column, while it now has an N, whatever that means. Here it says what the N means. So the N just means that it's not open for create redeem because it's not live yet. That's all. So essentially what's happened here is, if you did see all of this nonsense the past few days, that people were really getting their, what's the saying, their knickers in a twist, because they started to see the IBTC, if my mouse would work, this IBTC showing on the website. People were totally freaking out, absolute frantic that we were going to get an ETF approval, and this is why. Now, look, again, I'm not here to try and be doom and gloom and tell everyone to calm down, but I am also here to be doom and gloom and tell everyone to calm down, just because speculation. I love it, of course. It's how crypto drives up sometimes, but I'm also a realist. I have experience. I've been here, done that, and seen all of this happen before. And I just want to make you aware that remember that charts are just, if not, in my opinion, more important than this news to come out. So please, please, please beware. If you are a buyer, even if you are a seller as well, please beware. Make sure you're educated, you've done your own research, you understand chart behaviour, you understand how the media will post things at certain times on charts just to get you to either buy or sell. And just look out for that basically. I'm here to kind of give you that little mindset reminder that you need, because I've seen so much hype the past few days, and I'm just worried that some people will get not wrecked, but they'll be upset essentially. So let me actually just try and find that tweet that I wanted to show you. There, again, like I said, I've opened 4 tweets. Oh wait, it was this one. Okay, cool. So I did have it in order. So this tweet then is just kind of, like I've just said a minute ago, wanted to show you this because a lot of the hype has come around just because of what's happened the past few days. So I want to really, well, I say quickly read through this. There's quite a lot to read through, but I want you to, hopefully you can read that on your screen as well as follow along. Should I zoom in? Would that help? Is that going to work? Does that make it any better for anyone looking on their phones? But basically, it says here, if you got bearish because of the BlackRock iShares ETF ticker was on the DTCC site yesterday, but not today, you're NGMI. That means not going to make it. Clearly, institutions are serious about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. The largest and most skilled industry titans, i.e. the trillions of dollars under asset management, are working on making the spot Bitcoin ETF happen. So, again, I've discussed that so many times before. One of even just 7 or 8 of these companies have almost $10 trillion under management, and they're looking to get a Bitcoin spot ETF approved. So that just goes to show you, give me 1% of that 10 trillion, flood it into Bitcoin, and I will be a very, very happy crypto investor. Now, issuers can purchase tickers, ISINs or CUSIPs, which is symbols basically, early and register with the DTCC or an exchange or service provider. Usually, issuers register symbols early with service providers, but one can register symbols early without being approved. Now, the Bitcoin ETF is a sensitive topic, so my guess is that the SEC gave a call to BlackRock to hold their horses on this matter, and then really nothing to do with it, but the media tends to take out of context every filing and operational detail to create a story. Again, I've just mentioned that. There is no story. The things are chugging along and arguably increased momentum. Discussions are happening, questions are answered, problems are being solved, and to me, it's all directionally good news and the right type of industry and regulatory collaboration. Just my personal views, as always. So, hopefully you followed along and understood what he was trying to get at there. So essentially what this man, Mr. Gabor Gurbax, is saying is something that I'm trying to kind of portray here. Yes, it's great to see the speculation come in, potentially move forward in the right direction when it comes to the ETFs being approved, but the way these tickers work, so this IBTC ticker that has been added to the DTCC, a lot of abbreviations in today's episode, but the reason it's been added to that website is because, well, naturally they need to buy and kind of register that ticker before anything can happen, essentially, because they need to, well, first of all, make sure that that ticker is available. It's like a domain name. You want to buy that domain name before you start your website. That's normally how it goes. So think of these tickers as domains, or even think of these tickers as domain names for websites where you would front load it. So you would IBTC in this instance, then have to register that domain with the correct party, the correct website, whatever it may be, so that when the inevitable happens, which again is inevitably going to happen, a spot ETF is approved, you've already got everything laid out in order. You've got the foundations, shall we say. Hopefully as well, most definitely it's been happening, but these companies, so like BlackRock, for example, they already have been buying Bitcoin, because if they want to, get Bitcoin ETFs approved, they want to offer Bitcoin spot, they need to have held and they need to hold hundreds, if not thousands, of Bitcoin under their own management to then allocate that to their clients as well. So their clients, again, if anyone doesn't really understand what's going on, essentially these companies that hold trillions of dollars under management are asset management companies. So for example, your big rich billionaires of the world, millionaires of the world, who get someone like a financial advisor almost to look after their investments, make investments on their behalf. They are planning, or what they're trying to do now, is get Bitcoin as part of their their circle, I guess. So at the moment, because it's unregulated, it's seen as a bit of a risky asset. So BlackRock, for example, can't just go buy Bitcoin and give it to their millionaire and billionaire investors, or clients rather, because it's unregulated. They can't really do anything with it. They need a regulated asset class. So when a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved, they can then say to their clients, look, we've got approval, we've got a batch of Bitcoin there. We would recommend, as your advisor, that you put 1, 2, 3%, whatever it is, of your assets into Bitcoin, because it's the top performing asset of the world. Again, facts. It's the top performing asset. It outruns everything. It's better than any asset class out there. Yes, there's a high risk but high reward, but us, as BlackRock financial advisors, do recommend that you at least allocate some of your portfolio to Bitcoin. Sound fair enough? Then, as the client, he's going to say, yeah, cool, whatever. I've seen what's happened. Bitcoin's went crazy. It's done 10,000%, whatever it may be. I want a piece of that pie. So just because they're told, oh yeah, allocate 3%, doesn't mean that they don't want to allocate more. They can allocate as much as they want, but it would be advised that they allocate a set percentage, and then they can add on more in the past. So this is why it's such a big deal. It's why the ETFs, again, in my opinion, will fuel the next bull run next year, because institutions, they have trillions of dollars of funds that they'll be able to use and flow into Bitcoin. Yes, there might not be trillions that flow in, but maybe there will be. We got to $3 trillion last bull run, so why would they not get to $6 trillion? Because if there's 8 ETFs approved and there's 8 asset management companies worth trillions or have trillions, then, I mean, you tell me. I'm totally speculating here. Of course, all of this is my own opinion. You can think what you want, and please do think what you want about crypto. But in my opinion, ETFs are a huge deal. Do I love regulation in crypto? No, probably not. But do I love an asset class that I'm interested in going up in value? Yes. And the fact of the matter is, I strongly believe that the Bitcoin ETFs will be that driving force. Last bull run, it was kind of just speculation, and most of it was based off of the money printer. We all know that, there's no denying that. The US and the UK and most countries in the world back in 2020 and 21 just printed trillions of dollars. Therefore, people were putting their money into crypto, which helped flood the retail investment, the retail drive of crypto. But next year, it will be a different change on who's flowing that money in. Don't get me wrong, I do think that they're going to turn the money printer back on, because inflation's still not under control. The world is not under control. There's obviously a lot going on at the moment out in the kind of Middle East area. So is there going to be more money printing? Is the world going to go back into more turmoil? Is another war on the cards? It's just like no one knows what's going on. And the good thing about that for investors is, I say good thing, it's not always a good thing, but the good thing and the bad thing for investors and for everyday, people is, for whatever reason, the governments just tend to turn on the money machine and just start printing money, because they need to fund these wars, they need to fund all these issues in the world, they need to help and aid these countries as well. And where does that money come from? Well, nowhere, because they need to print it. So yeah, like I said, it's a good and a bad thing. Good thing because inflation runs rampant, but that means that, the prices of things go up. and I mean your assets go up. Yes, your everyday shopping will go up as well, but we've experienced that. And yeah, the world is a crazy place right now. I don't know why this segment has lasted so long. I apologise, but I feel like I'm on the right path here. But yeah, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is ETFs will fuel the next bull run, in my opinion. The world is in a very, very weird place, has been since 2020, unfortunately. It's just, I guess, the new norm. But that does mean, as investors, that it can play in your favour for your assets, because money printing does mean that your investments go up, but the value of your dollar, your pound, your yen, your euro, whatever it may be, does go down. So it's like a catch-22. You win some, you lose some. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say on the matter. Again, bit of a longer segment than I had planned for that, but hopefully it helps you out as much as possible. Now, on to some tweets before we finish up for today's video. So, Jim Cramer, we all know who he is, hopefully by now, but 13 days ago, the video might be playing. I don't think it will be playing with any sound, but that video is basically him saying that Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big. And since then, Bitcoin has done 30% increase. So yeah, Jim Cramer's quite a funny man. I think he's paid by the elites to try and kind of crash, or he's a bottom signal for these assets. But yeah, anyway, don't ever do what Jim Cramer does or says. Do the opposite, basically. There is a Twitter page called, I think it's called Inverse Jim Cramer, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, essentially the Twitter follows everything that he does. It shows you that assets do the opposite. So yeah, pretty funny. But yeah, go check it out. Just wanted to show you that Bitcoin has done 30% to the upside since Jim Cramer said it's going to go down big. Moving on to the next part. Now, yeah, this was quite a funny one, kind of touching back on ETF, right? I maybe should have moved this, but today or the other day, Bitcoin's price retraced after BlackRock's new ETF ticker was removed from the website. Then the SEC charged BlackRock with failing to disclose investments, and then BlackRock agreed to pay a $2.5 million penalty. And it says here, this is going to be a wild year next year. So yeah, I strongly believe that, again, the SEC will never let us just have a good year in crypto. There will always be ups and downs. But I did see something that it was, I'm sure BlackRock made something like, or they didn't disclose like 60 million or something, maybe more than that. In fact, I wonder if it is in this comment section. I don't think it is, but I've seen it somewhere that they paid a $2.5 million penalty, but they didn't disclose something like 60 or $100 million of investment. So it's like, that's not a bad deal, is it? Like, it's not a bad deal at all. You don't disclose $100 million and you have to pay a $2.5 million fine. So yeah, that, again, another point I want to make on that is it just goes to show you that even, for example, the settlement that will potentially be coming out for Ripple's versus the SEC's lawsuit, there will probably be like a $5 million fine or something like that, but the SEC have caused billions of dollars of losses for retail investors. So yeah, it's mad how the SEC work, but that's fine, whatever, we'll move on. But yeah, just wanted to point that out, that we could be in, again, buckle in for another crazy ride next year. Yes, prices will be going up, but they will be going down. They will be going up and down and up and down, because that's how crypto works, and that's how bull markets work. Hopefully you've experienced that in 2021. It's not up in a straight line, unfortunately. Things go up, higher highs, lower lows, and yeah, it's part of the fun. Now, the last tweet I wanted to show you was, of course, a halving tweet, because we're 6 months away from the halving. And if you remember, about a month or so ago, I spoke about buying 6 months before the halving and selling 18 months after the halving is a strategy that some people will do. So, for example, if you bought like 3 or 4 days ago, right, before the prices went up, obviously, that was about 6 months away from the halving. We then seen a 30% increase in price just to kind of get you warmed up for what's to come. But imagine you did just, I might even just do that as like a test. I might just buy like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, for example, and 6 months before the halving, and then set a date 18 months after the halving and sell it. and then see exactly how much that $1,000 has made me. Do you know what, actually? I feel like I might do that. Would you be interested in seeing that? Mostly anyone that's watching, obviously you've watched Coffee and Crypto quite often, but if you're a CC Pro member, would that be something that you'd be interested in? I'm willing to do that. $1,000 or maybe a couple of $1,000 or something into Bitcoin today. Well, maybe not today because it's up quite a bit and I hate buying. I know it's just for the purpose of this, right? But I find it so hard to buy when it's up like almost 30%. Maybe I'll give it a few days because it will cool off. But yeah, anyway, would you be interested in me doing that as a bit of a test? I'll chuck a couple of $1,000 into Bitcoin and then store it and keep note of it as a separate kind of little patch. And then I will buy it 6 months before the halving, which is like today. And then I will sell it 18 months from the date of the halving. And then I'll do a video on it in, well, I guess 2 years' time to see how it went. Yeah, drop me some comments below because I feel like that's quite interesting. I feel like it's something I'm going to do anyway, just to try and prove a point. Yes, it's only a couple of $1,000, but that's sometimes what people want to invest. And yeah, I'm happy to do that if you want to see that. Anyway, the chart I wanted to show you is something I've shown previously, or something very similar. The past 3 halvings that we have seen before. Now, I have lived through one of these halvings. Again, I got involved in 17, so I just kind of missed realistically what that meant back then in 2016 because I wasn't really in the space. But the first halving, the price of Bitcoin was $12. The second halving, the price was $648. And then the third halving, which again we've all experienced in 2020, it was $8,572. Now, what will be the price of Bitcoin on the fourth halving, which is set to fall around April of 2024? Again, it changes because it's to do with every 210,000 blocks that are complete. That's when the halving comes in. So I don't know exactly what number we're on at the moment, but it's about April time is when it should fall. But yeah, look, crazy chart to see when it's laid out like this. Again, zooming out. But back in 2012, you obviously seen the halving come in. And then boom, price goes up, price comes down. The halving comes in, price goes up, price goes down. The halving comes in, price goes up, price comes down. And then boom, what happens? Well, again, based on history, what happens after a halving? Price goes up, so it says. Again, not financial advice. I can't guarantee anything will happen like it has done before, so don't come after me. And yeah, I just wanted to point out the fact that here's a little chart I wanted to show you some history on Bitcoin. But yeah, halving prices, we've seen 3 halvings in the past, and factually, based on history, not my opinion, just based on history, Bitcoin goes up in price after a halving. So yeah, anyway, hope you found that quite interesting. But yeah, like I said, there's about 6 months to go before the next halving, which will be an exciting time to see and be involved in crypto, in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, that's all for today's episode of Coffee and Crypto. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. There has been a lot of mindset drops and a lot of kind of things that you need to hear. Like I said kind of earlier on in today's video, and it is a bit of it's not a personal attack on anyone, it's not naming names, it's nothing to do with that, it's just you see a lot of it on Twitter and in Discord and Instagram, everywhere on social media, that I'm finally in profit since 2021, and I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, that you have not managed your portfolio correctly. And yeah, that's the harsh reality of it. If you are in that position, I can help you. We run a consultancy. So yes, you're watching Certified Crypto, but we also have Crypto Glasgow, which is a UK leading consultancy business. So yeah, check it out. There is links below if you do want more information on that. I've personally spoke to hundreds of people on the phone and in person regarding their portfolio, help them manage that, give them some kind of points and some facts and, well, I guess some harsh truths that you need and they have needed to hear, which again, yes, it's hard to take, but I'm here to tell you that you need to hear some of these things because the bull market is potentially 6 months away and you really need to be prepared for that because look, I've lived through, well, two bull markets, but one really personally that I actually invested money in and, you know, watched it move. Now, I've been there, I've done it. I've seen it all happen before. Like I said, I've bought the wrong time, I've sold the wrong time, I've not bought at the right time many times, and I've learned the harsh lessons, unfortunately. And I'm here to try and help you, well, learn from my mistakes, I suppose, and I'm in a quite a good position to do that. So yeah, look, I've got time this week, I've got time next week, I've got time over the weekend, whatever it may be. I'm happy to kind of move schedules around to fit you in. If you are interested in getting your portfolio managed correctly, please consider giving me a message and I will direct you to booking in a call with myself. They are 45-minute calls, so there's a lot to discuss throughout that 45 minutes. There's a link on the website, of course, you can read more on that, and of course there's reviews and whatever, you can check that out. But yeah, like I said, you are not managing your portfolio correctly if you're just in profit for the first time in 2 years. That's all I'm going to say, and I can help you get better at that. So yeah, anyway, like I said, that's all for today's episode of Coffee and Crypto. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today's episode. I will be back very soon with another episode, so please make sure you are subscribed. Turn on the bell notifications for all of your post notifications so that you know when I go live. But it also means that if we post a video, now we do have a very exciting video coming very soon. Deck has been working on it frantically for the past week, so yeah, you don't want to miss this next video. You also don't want to miss any videos, so if you have time today, tomorrow, this weekend, go check out some of the videos and live streams that we have been doing the past few weeks, because there's a lot to catch up with. Now is a very critical time in the market, and I can assure you, if you don't get involved in our Discord, you don't get involved in learning about crypto, you will be coming back crying in 6 months' time, wishing that you had took action, done something. And well, look, I can't help you every single day. I'm not here to baby you, but I will help you as much as possible now. But I might not be here to help you in a few years with crypto. I might be off in the Bahamas living my life, and maybe Coffee and Crypto won't happen every day. No, I'm joking, but in all seriousness, I'm here to help. If there's anything you do need from myself, anyone on the team or in Discord, there is links today in the description for anything that you do need. Please check them out, consider everything that you need to know, and please, of course, before you invest in crypto, make sure that you know the regulations in your country. Please do your own research, and never ever listen to anyone on the internet. Think for yourself and do your own research.